Hello, welcome to next lecture for course Introduction to Business. Today we will look into uh, some methodology which is called Lean Canvas and other interesting things. Firstly, I would like you to play this video. This video shows why it is important to start with identifying problem and users or customers which are having this problem, then just skipping to a conclusion, which means some solution which you would like to sell as a product. So this video, in other words, says when you will look around and try to find problems which people are having, and if you find a solution for this problem, people will actually be more willing to pay for this solution because you're solving for them the problem they are having. And in my opinion, it's very important concept, and it will help you to actually overcome some potential failure by offering customers something which they actually wouldn't need, so they are not willing to pay for it. So watch this video, and it's not long, it's like 3 minutes, so I think it's fine, and I think that it will help you to understand the concept which I will be speaking more in next slides. So why are startups hard? Despite of advent of the internet, cloud computing, and open source software, which allows the cost of building products all-time low, most startups still fail. So even though it's very easy for you to start your own company, in average, most startups still fail. And the problem is, in reality, that there is no visionary who can see the future. You can't see the future. There are years of making innovations and also failures. The customer validation comes after the product release. So you're working on a product, you're investing your time, your money, or investors' money, and in the end, you ask customers if they like it or if they want to buy it, and they say no, we just need to do it a bit differently, or we don't like it that way which you did it. So it's very important to actually have customer validation before you start investing your money and your time to actually product development. And also, the problem is that you cannot simply ask customers what they want, because, and this is a quotation from book Running Lean, and this book is quoting Henry Ford, who said, or I hope he said, if I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said fast as horses, which this means that when you will ask the customers, what do you want? They can't come up with the best solution, the most efficient solution. So in this example, it makes that when the customers in that time, they saw only the solution as only horses, so they like incremental innovation would be faster horses. But in the end, when you as entrepreneur are looking at it holistically, or you will look it on completely different way, so you can come up with let's say in this example with a car, when the customers couldn't even imagine that this could be made. But in given the right context, customers can clearly articulate their problems, but it's your job to come up with the solution. So if you ask the customers what problem they have, so in case of Henry Ford, he could ask them what's your problem, and they say, okay, horses are not reliable. They there is a problem with the waste, there is a problem with stables and so on. So we have this problem, we need a solution, and he can come with a solution in form of a car, diesel car, fuel car, based on fuel. So if you actually articulate your problem, if customers can actually articulate their problem, you as an entrepreneur can come up with the solution. And again, some quote: it is not the customer's job to know what they want. It's from Steve Jobs. So the essence of developing the business idea, is firstly document your plan. So when you have, let's say, identify the problem customers and you have a solution, just document, write it down in any manner, and just have it written down, so you can look at it, you can share it, you can show it to other people. So write it down, then identify the riskiest part of your plan, and then systematically test your plan. So when you wrote down your idea, just test it, make a prototype of it, and just put it out and ask for the feedback, and try to incorporate this feedback to your product. So, idea vision. Everyone gets hit by ideas when they least expect them. For example, in shower or while driving and so on. The problem is that most people ignore them. But entrepreneurs choose to act on them. So these doers, people who are actually doing things, are entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs choose to act on their ideas and push them to final product release, and afterwards selling the product. Most entrepreneurs start with a strong initial vision and a plan A for realizing that vision. Unfortunately, most plan A's don't work. So when you have your initial idea, in most of the cases, just you will change it, because you will ask the customers, you will understand that they will need a little bit slightly something different, and you will modify your product, modify your idea, modify your business model. So you're not going to sell it for subscription, you will give it for free, and you will find the finance somewhere else. So most initial plan A's, which is initial plans, just don't work. So don't be afraid of it. It's normal, and it has own name in a startup community. It's pivoting. Just change your idea a bit on the left, on the right, sideways, horizontally, vertically. Anyway, the first step is writing down your initial vision, and then sharing it with at least one other person. So the important thing is write it down, which I said before, and share it with the people around you, and try to get as good feedback as you can. Traditionally, business plans have been used for this purpose, but while writing a business plan is a good exercise for entrepreneur, it falls short for its true purpose, facilitating conversation with other people. Moreover, since most plan A's are likely to be proven wrong anyway, you need something less static and rigid than a business plan, which takes weeks and can consist of 60 pages. This means that normally, like a few years ago, you would do your business plan, which is a huge written statement in 60 pages or so. You will spend weeks on it, and you will describe everything: your team, yourself, your company, your vision, your forecasts, everything. And then you will just change it, because most of plan A's just don't work. So you spend most of your time just uselessly. So that's in that ways you should find something more agile, something more flexible that you can use to write down and share your business idea. Again, business plan, you would still in the end write down your business plan, but it is used more of getting some finance and in a bank, or get some investment from investors and so on. So business plan has still in its own place in modern startup environment, but for actually validating your business idea, it is better to find something else. One of the many tools, many tools which you can use is Lean Canvas, which is, in my opinion, flexible enough, easy to understand enough, and easy to change enough for you just to enable to write down your ideas. You can, for example, write down 2 versions of Lean Canvas, 2 versions, modifications of your business idea, and you can show both of them to your potential customers or friends or so on, and they can ask them, which one do you think it's most likely to be successful, and you can validate your business idea this way. Or you can just write one and ask them about their opinion. But the idea behind the Lean Canvas is to quickly sketch the business idea instead of using several weeks to develop a business plan. The Lean Canvas is divided into 9 components. These 9 components are the problem, which is, again, you start with the problem, customer segments, and then you will define solution and why your solution is unique. Then you would need to define if you have any unfair advantage, which channels you will use to sell your product, what key metrics you would use to actually measure your success, your cost structure, and your revenue streams. How you're going to, what is a type, how you're going to get some money back. You can sell your product like one time sell. You can make a subscription, monthly subscription, for example. You can sell it for free, but you will sell the data about the customers to third parties, and so on and so on. You can rent it and so on. So, but you should have clear vision how you're going to actually sell your product. So what you should use Lean Canvas? Because it is fast. Compared to business plan, it is easy to outline multiple business models on Canvas in one afternoon. It's concise. It means that the Canvas forces you to pick your words carefully and get to the point. This is a great practice for distilling the essence of your product. You have 30 seconds to grab the attention of an investor and 8 seconds to grab the attention of a customer on your landing page. So you don't have many times, a lot of time to actually get to the point. So you need to practice, and you need to get used to it, and then you can sell your idea easier than you would do without this practice. And it's portable. A single page business model is much easier to share with others, which means that it will be read by more people and probably will be more frequently updated. Solution is only one part of the canvas. I already explained it. Despite entrepreneurs spending too much time talking about it. And again, some quote: customers don't care about your solution, they care about their problems. Again, you should focus on the problem which customers have, and the solution is secondary. You can always change the solution, but the problem stays the same. Lean Canvas helps deconstruct your business model into 9 distinct subparts that are then systematically tested. So I already went through that. In this slide, you can see that you would, and or I already said that you start with the problem and your customers, and then you will define solution, unique value proposition. Why is your product unique? And then you will continue with the rest. Now we will go through the first 2 steps in more detail. So when you first start out, all you have is an inkling of a problem, of a solution, and maybe a customer segment. Just as rushing to build a solution can lead to waste. Again, you spend a lot of time creating your solution, but in the end, you would understand that maybe the problem is a little bit different, and you would need to change your product, and you just it just leads to a phase. So first step, define your customer and its problem, her problem, or his problem. The first step is actually ask yourself, do you have a problem worth solving? Who could be your customer or user? So those are 2 main questions. Problem customer segment usually drives the rest of the canvas. So this is a base, this is an essence which you actually work on. List existing alternatives. Most problems have existing solutions. Identify other user roles that will interact. In a search engine, the customer is the advertiser, while users are people running searches. This means that sometimes your user is a bit different than your customer. So be in mind when you're defining your problem and customer user problem. So, second step, define your unique value proposition. So, why your product is unique. The unique value proposition, UVP, is one of the most important boxes in Canvas. It defines why are you different and worth buying and getting attention. Why the customers will actually buy your product, but not the product of your competitor. It is a clear message that describes the advantages of your offer, what makes you different and distinguishes you from the competition. Some tips: be different, but make sure your difference matters. Target early adopters. Your product is not ready for mainstream customers yet, so you should find the people who are willing to try new things, which is called early adopters. It's easier for you to actually sell your product in the beginning, to get some feedback and improve your product. Focus on finished story benefits, so highlighting benefits over features. So try to share the benefits of your solution, not only features. Write UVP as story formula, which means end result, what end customers want, some specific period of time, and address the objections. For example, hot fresh pizza delivered to your door in 30 minutes, or it's free. So this is an example of nice and clear unique value proposition. And then you would create solutions based on the identified problems. Ideate and define a solution to every problem. Because you have untested problems, it is fairly common to be replaced with a new one. So the initial solution mostly is not the final one, and you will replace it with new one, which will solve the problem more efficiently for the customer. It is recommended to not get carried away with fully defining the solution. So don't be too reliant on the initial solution. Be open to change and modify your solution. Rather, simply sketch out the simplest thing you could possibly build to address each problem. Prototyping, we will get into more detail in next lectures. This is a example from the company where I was and I am working, where we did some idea validation, if it's worth company time and money to actually start developing the product. The idea was that there are people who are paying the same insurance, car insurance, even though they don't drive as often as others. So there are people who are driving car twice a month, and they're paying the same car insurance like people who are driving every day to work. And we identify that those are old people and casual drivers. So we defined a unique solution, which means that you would be paying only as much as you drive, and it will be paid easily with your mobile invoice. This is why it is unique. And the solution is that we will sell adaptable car insurance by monitoring their driving data through mobile phones. We would sell it in shops, by call centers, and on the internet. We would measure how many insurances was sold. We will get some customer feedback, and we will get money by sending monthly fee, which would be paid in invoice with other services. And we identified this business idea, and we went out and asked people about the idea, and they said, that's fine, I'm happy that I'm paying less, and you're solving my problem, but the solution is not right. I'm not willing to buy a product which actually spies on me. This monitoring is no go. I'm not going to buy the product because I don't want you to spy on me and look at my data and monitor how fast or where I'm going with my car. So we said, okay, fine, and we got this feedback from many customers, and he said, fine, I understand. So we didn't follow up with this business idea, but we got very important lesson learned, that we asked our customers, we got the feedback, and we didn't waste any money just actually developing the product. Imagine that we would spend like millions of crowns actually developing this product. In the end, the customers would say, but I don't want to be spied, so I'm not going to buy it. So it's all waste. So this type of validation of a product is very important to save you money and the time which you don't have a lot. Especially the time. In large corporations, there are a lot of money if management decides so, but you don't have time. So that's important for you as well. There is some example from Facebook, which was downloaded from the internet, which is applied on Lean Canvas. You can read it down. I put here some funny simulator, startup simulator. It's just for you, just make it a bit, your mind rest a bit. So try it, it's quite fun. Some elementary terms you should know when you start your business. And we agreed that on your next lecture, you would draw your typical customer, and you will fill interactively canvas, which will help you to actually start working, developing your idea, and only the boxes: problem and customer segment and solution. So I think that's it. Thank you for your attention, and see you next week.